right, welcome in everybody. It is time for Tunesday Tuesday, number 66. Woo, we're getting up there in numbers. Guys, my special guest this week is calling in all the way from Denmark, which means it is early in the morning over there, and we need to do this quickly because we're both very old and we need to get to bed soon. So let me tell you a little bit about Ray. Ray Weaver is celebrated for his unique ability to turn deeply personal life experiences into songs that resonate universally. Lauded by icons like Rodney Crowell as an important songwriter, Weaver has a rare gift for crafting lyrics that raise awareness and touch hearts. Music journalists have compared him to storytelling legends like Steve Earle and Guy Clark, applauding his formidable writing talent. Weaver's influence extends internationally, with Danish artist Jess Holtso featuring Weaver's songs exclusively on critically acclaimed albums, one of which earned a Danish Grammy nomination. His songwriting also powered Nina Massara's debut CD, Watch Me, which received global radio play and was featured on Fox's Lethal Weapon. Weaver's latest release, The Blood Is Never on Their Hands, is a powerful meditation on the universal devastation of war. Rather than choosing sides, the song captures the shared suffering and loss of conflict, crossing borders and ideologies. Recorded across Copenhagen and Nashville, this song blends top-tier production with diverse influences, earning global radio play and thousands of streams. Ray Weaver's storytelling extends to his book, A Father's Heart, a multimedia collection of his most cherished stories and songs. His work, featured on networks like the Travel Channel and WB, continues to captivate a worldwide audience. Ray is a force in contemporary songwriting, consistently delivering music that resonates across borders and solidifies his place as a significant voice in modern music. Guys, we are so stoked to invite back to the Boston Chris Show, Mr. Ray Weaver. Let's get over and chat with him right now. Ray, how are you, my dude?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
So I was just telling everybody that it is extremely late for you. And it's kind of medium late for me, and we're both old guys and need to get to bed soon. Yeah. So
not getting any younger, my friend.
That's right. So I know that you're originally from Maryland because we talked before. Did you hear the breaking news that just came down?
I've just been sitting here while waiting to come on stage with you. I've just been sitting here texting back and forth with my son who lives in London. And yeah, we have bittersweet feelings about it. Time for a change in Baltimore, but we both love Coach Harbaugh after the last 18 years. Yeah.
Man, I think maybe he had more to do with it than maybe the Ravens did, I'm thinking. What do you think?
I kind of get the same idea. I think that listen, John is a class coach. He's going to go somewhere. And I just kind of hope he goes out of the division actually.
Yeah,
well, Here in Cleveland talk already, I don't think I'd be crazy about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either, but I think he's going to end up in New York. That's what I think.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that too. Yeah, Giants again. Yeah,
I think that's a prime coaching gig, and I think that might be why he left. I think that's the one everybody wants.
Yep. I think you might be right about that. My son said the same thing, so you're both on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that the Giants were moving on, I was like, well, maybe Belichick, but now that Coach Harbaugh is available, man, that makes a lot more sense to me.
It does. Really does. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's so good to chat with you again, man. Ray and I really hit it off last year when we chatted, and man, how have things been for you, man?
It's been too long since I talked to you as well. I we enjoyed it. It's still listed as one of my favorite interviews of all time. You and I got going for about 4 hours, I think, the last time we were here. But things have been going fine. I haven't done as much music over the last year as I had hoped. Family stuff and just life in general. I wrote a lot of songs, but I just didn't really release much. And then at the end of the year, I got 3 or 4, I don't even know, but I got a lot of people contacting me that it turns out that I was their favorite Spotify artist of the year. So I committed myself to making more music this year and get more music out coming up in 2026.
How's that feel, Ray? Honestly, because I know this
shocking,
is very important to you.
Shocking. I mean, because there are a lot of artists out there.
Yeah.
For someone to have my name at the top of their list when there's Steve Earle or Bruce Springsteen or Jackson Brown or some of the new folks out there, Jason Isbell, people that I love, that's it's humbling and it's shocking is the best word for it.
Well, I mean, I told you this last year, man. You're just such an honest storyteller, and you tell it like it is. There's a lot of courage in what you do, and I think that really resonates with listeners. You know?
I hope so. The new project, I was going through a lot of stuff I had on the computer here, and all of a sudden, I found an extension of my very, very first release, which came out all the way back in 1995. I did a cassette called "What You Wish For," and which really reflected my West Virginia roots, my family, my mom, and then I found on this journey through the stuff I'd been writing over the last many years about 12 new songs that go back to that. So the next project is really going to talk a lot about people from that area of the country, what goes on, both positive and not so positive. And I think it's going to be a pretty good project. I think it's going to be a good project.
Life's very circular in that way, isn't it? Just kind of going
Yeah,
back to the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah. I mean, I lost my mom a couple of years back, and she's always been my contact to West Virginia. And going through some of the songs, and it has for want of a better feel, it has kind of a Nebraska feel to it, where they're just stories. The protagonist or the antagonist in the song may or may not be me because they're stories and they're people with different names, and in much the same way that Bruce approached, uh, Nebraska, and the way Jason Isbell approached his last acoustic album. They're story songs. There's always going to be a bit of me in them, but they're also about people that I knew and that I grew up with, and that. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be cool.
Have you had the opportunity to kind of lean back and look at your years of writing? You talked about 1995 kind of being the beginning. That's 30 years.
Yep.
Have
Yep.
you had a chance to kind of see the growth, the evolution, and in Ray Weaver over that time?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, you always ask good questions, but that's a good question because I went through a period, and I may have said this the last time we talked, where I started out being that guy, a solo singer songwriter guy that was inspired, early on by Dylan and then Gordon Lightfoot and those people. So when I finally made the step to Nashville after I did the What You Wish For project, people are like, "Oh man, you write good songs. You should, come down here, get a publishing deal, and we like what you do." And then my experience was, as soon as you get there, they want you to change what you do.
Yeah.
They want you to co-write with other people, and they want you to write songs about, your first date and pickup trucks and stuff like that. Well, I'm well past that now, man, and so I went through a period of time in the middle. I had a publishing deal and all of that stuff, and I went through a period of time, and I look back on it now, and I go, I wouldn't have listened to them songs. I would have not listened to any of those songs. I don't like those songs. I mean, there's some quality stuff in some of the catalogs that I have, but most of it I look at and go, no. So I think that when I lost my last publishing deal in Nashville, I don't even remember what it was, but in the 2000s somewhere, I think I write better songs now than I did then because I don't care. I just don't care. It's never been about the commercial end of it for me. I would love it if somebody would pick up one of my songs and help me pay off this damn house. But if they don't, I'm still going to write the same songs anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a better writer. I'm a better writer now than I was. I may not be a better writer than I was in 1995, but I'm a better writer than I was in 2005. So,
What do you attribute that to? Just being a better writer than you were yesterday.
well, I write all the time, so that helps. And also, kind of like that, that thing that I have inside of me that says, okay, this is what I want to say. This is who I am. This is, and so I hope it finds an audience. But I'm very much stoic in the sense that I just do the work. I just do the work now, and hopefully it finds an audience. But because I can't be concerned about the outcome, Chris, I just have to do the work, and then you know something else takes over the other mechanism. And so doing the work for me is sitting in the same chair I sit here. You can see the guitars on the back of the wall. When I'm at work, I come here and I do the work every day if I can, and so I'm better because I know how it works. I know what I need to do, and because I do it. That's all. Just do it.
Yeah, I heard another songwriter put it like raising a pigeon. He said, writing a song is like raising a pigeon. Like you raise the pigeon, you get it past, a certain point, and then you release it into the world, and whatever it does at that point is up to the pigeon.
That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
better than I described it.
Yeah.
It's but I've always I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote the book, but many years ago I read a book called "The War of Art," not the art of war, but the War of Art.
I've
Because I
heard
read
this
the
book. People have
you know
referenced it on the show before. Yeah.
he really basically just makes it clear that all the resistance to all of the work that you do, it's always going to be there. It's going to be there every day. And the one of the salient points in the book is you simply cannot be concerned about the outcome because there's a better than even chance. Well, there's a 90% chance that no one's going to give a damn.
Yeah.
So if you start there, if you started, if you start as an amateur, as saying, oh, this is what's going to happen. I love. I'm on a lot of songwriter forums, and these guys because you interview so many great songwriters that like, oh, I just wrote my next hit. How do you know?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Nope.
You don't know that.
You don't
could
know
have
where the
plugged-
pigeon's gonna go, man.
Exactly. That pigeon could get shot before it gets out of the
That's right.
neighborhood. So and with all the competition and everything, man, just write the song.
Mhm.
Let the rest of it take care of itself.
Yep, that's
The rest
exactly
of it take
right.
care of itself.
The song's gonna rule the way anyway, man. That's all.
Yep.
That's all the way it
Yeah.
is, man. So, yeah, you've set me up twice now. You've mentioned Jackson Brown. You've mentioned you've mentioned Resistance. So,
Yeah.
let's go to Jackson Brown first. The pick of the week from Ray is a Jackson Brown song. It's called "I Am a Patriot." Of all the songs in the world, I cannot wait to hear your answer on this. Why did you pick this song, Ray?
Well, I mean, as you know, I'm a political songwriter,
Yeah.
and this song that was actually written by Steve Van Zandt from Bruce Springsteen's circle. I'm a political songwriter, and one of the things that happens, and this, people all of a sudden assume that since I'm not a big fan, well, since I despise the administration that we have in the country, and since I'm not a fan of He Who Shall Not Be Named, that all of a sudden I'm not an American. I'm not a patriot. I don't love my country. And it amazes me all the time that someone can, combine the idea that if you don't like the president, then you must hate the country. No, that's just not true. I don't like fish sandwiches, but I'll still go to McDonald's and get something I like. I just don't. I have no support. No, I mean, I don't want to, sugarcoat it in any way. I despise the man. I think he's dangerous. I think he's a psychopath. I think all of the things you could say. And as a person who lives in Denmark, now that he's decided that he's taking a look at sovereign territory that belongs to the country I live in, that's fine, but the fact of the matter is I still am a very proud American.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a patriot and I love my country, so I wanted that to be the one.
Yeah, I love the song. I love the choice. I feel very much the same way as you do, as you know. I can honestly tell you that. I mean, I'm 49 years old. I have not liked a single one of our presidents since I've been alive. So,
you're an artist, so part of the responsibility of an artist is to question authority.
That's right.
And not be a fan of any of it. So you're just doing your job. That's all.
Yeah, I was military. My dad was career military, and he instilled upon us, you just don't believe a word they say. I don't care
Not a word that comes out
what
of their
side
mouth,
they're on. If they're unless they are personally coming down and paying your bills for you, then you don't need to worry about.
As I told you before, man, I'm an old hippie. We started off, I was always, we questioned everything. The first time I ever got arrested or whatever was in 1969 at the moratorium in DC protesting the Vietnam War. I mean, this is not an old. I mean, my T-shirt says "Protect kids, not guns." This is not new work for me.
Right.
That's it.
And
then
the song we're featuring tonight also is very, very serendipitous as well. Ray has a song called "Resist." He has a ton of great songs that would fit perfectly for right now, including one of my favorite songs that was released last year, as you know, Ray, and I talked about it a little bit in the intro. "The Blood Is Never on Their Hands," which was one of my top 10 favorite songs that came out last year. Just a great tune, and I'm excited about Resist as well. Tell us about the song, how it came to be, and why we're featuring it tonight, Ray.
Well, quick on the blood. The thing with having the blood that's been so great this year is that, other folk singers have picked it up and they're starting doing it. So then when you're a folk singer and you write folk music and you write, when you get a video from somebody in, another part of the world, Finland or whatever, and they're singing your song, that's great.
Yeah.
But with Resist was, it kind of had a long history. Back 4 or 5 years ago, I was invited to do, in Annapolis, Maryland, they have this thing called, AM and FM, and what it is they raise money. The idea of AM FM, they raise money for local musicians if they're out of work, if they miss a gig, if they get sick or whatever, because most musicians don't have any health insurance. So the AM FM people, they put on a concert every year at Ram's Head in Annapolis, which is a great venue, and they invite singer-songwriters, musicians, whatever, and the idea is they pick an artist, and then the idea is that you write a song in the style of that artist, and then you do one of that artist's songs. And I've been on the Springsteen one, and this one was the Crosby, Stills, and Nash one. And I looked at what everybody was doing, and it was great music, and they were great musicians, but everything was like real candy ass. I mean, there was no protest. And Crosby, Stills, and Nash with Ohio and stuff like that, they had a lot to say. And so I wrote Resist. We did it there on that show, and then I kind of forgot about it. I didn't really think much about it because this was during Trump's first term, and then he was gone. And then, when this came around, then, as you know, I'm a radio announcer for a radio station here in Denmark called Radio Mars, and they had a concert celebrating the station's first year. And Mars is we're a non-commercial radio station. That concert, we invited a lot of great artists from Denmark, and Alex Newborg Madsen, the guy who runs the station, asked me if I wanted to perform, and I said sure. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. But I pulled Resist out, got my 12-string, put it on, tuned it down to a drop C or C sharp, I think, and I just played it live. It was just a live moment because I was pissed off. He's talking at that time. He'd begun his whatever about taking over Canada and taking over Greenland and stuff like that. And I just said, I'm going to play that. And as you can hear, this is a live recording from that concert. The crowd was really into it. I was really into it. It's not the smoothest performance I've ever given in my life, but I mean, if you listen to the guitar solo in it, I took out a little guardrail in there. I got too excited. It's just a little rough in there, And but the moment was real, and Alex and the people around, they're like, "Man, you got to release that." And so I did. I just put it out. I didn't do any of the stuff you're supposed to do with a pre-release, and this is coming out, and you should. I didn't do any of that. I just put it out there because I think it needs to be out there.
Well, I'm just so happy that you decided to do the show tonight, and that we can share it with people. And Ray, you know how much I care about you, man. You're one of my favorite folks I've ever talked to, and you're always welcome to come back anytime you want to chat, man.
Well, I love being on your show, and I love what you do, and I encourage people all the time to support what you're doing, and I hope you keep on doing it because long-form interviews and folks like you that really care about chatting with the artist, it's a lost art form, and I appreciate what you're doing, man. I appreciate it a lot.
All right, Ray, you have a good rest of your night. Get to bed, man. I appreciate you staying up
I'm on my way, man.
All right, you have
Take
a good
care
one.
Of yourself.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we're going to get into the music, guys. Ray Weaver is just a sweetheart of a guy, and really excited about showing you the music. We're going to start with his feature tonight. It is called Resist. As he was saying, this was a completely live, completely spontaneous recording. And, I mean, I can't give it any more justice than the song itself can give itself. So here it is, guys. Resist, live by Ray Weaver.
Between 49,000 words today, 49,000 lies. The only word this world wants to hear you say is goodbye. You poisoned my planet with the venom pouring out of your black heart. Telling it everything you've ever done is your only true trademark. For what it's worth, I'll stop listening. I don't know who could vote for this, but I know the cost of freedom. I resist. Cause I'm always amazed at the artlessness of your deal. But your rabble cheers you on while you rape, steal, pillage, and steal. Greenland and Canada are not squares in your board game. They're not playgrounds, they're not possessions for you to ruin with your pawn-shop name. For what it's worth, I stopped listening. I don't know who could vote for this, but I know the cost of my freedom. I resist. I resist in the name of liberty. I resist with all my might. I resist for the sake of my children. And I split your darkness with my light. You wrap yourself up in a flag and never let us see what's underneath. Put your hand on the Bible and then you stand up and lie between your teeth. The whole world is watching you, man, shaking its head in disbelief. For what it's worth, I stopped listening. I won't sit down and I won't stand for this. Cause I know the cost of my freedom. I resist. You pathetic narcissist. I'm not afraid of your little fists. I'm not afraid of you, man, I'm just pissed.
All right, next up is Ray's pick of the week. It is I Am a Patriot by the legendary Jackson Browne.
And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous. And the river opens for the righteous someday. I was walking with my brother, and he wondered what's on my mind. I said what I believe, my soul ain't what I see with my eyes. from the cages, released from the rages, burning in my heart tonight. Yeah. And I ain't no communist, and I ain't no capitalist, and I ain't no socialist, and I ain't no imperialist, and I ain't no Democrat, sure ain't no Republican. I only know one party, and it is freedom. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens. I wanna run like the lion, opens for the righteous, and the river opens. Released from the cage, opens for the righteous, and the river opens. Released from the rage, opens for the righteous, and the river opens. I said when I believe in my soul, for the righteous, and the river opens. It ain't what I see with my eyes, for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous. Someday, 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 the river opens for the righteous.
All right, there is Ray Weaver's pick of the week with Jackson Brown. I am a Patriot, and that was episode number 66 of Tunesday Tuesday, brought to you by the Boston Chris Show. I want to thank once again Mr. Ray Weaver for joining me from the middle of the night in Denmark tonight. Make sure you guys are following along with Ray Weaver at weaverwrites.com. That is WeaverWrites.com. Follow the man. He has lots of stuff going on. He's got a book or two. He's got audiobooks. He's got music. He's got all kinds of stuff you guys need to get your hands on. And follow my man Ray on all social medias as well. Next week, right here on episode number 67, we will be joined by special guest Mr. Bo Atkins, singer-songwriter from the state of Texas. And without any further ado, guys, you have a good rest of your night, your week, your weekend, all of the above, and make sure you follow along with everything we have going on at the Boston Chris Show. Much love, y'all.